Om Shanti. This is the Avyact MURLI of the 8th of October 2023. Original date 9th of January 1996. Title: In order to maintain the intoxication of being a child who is also a master, be the ruler of your mind. Today, the Father, the Master of the world, is seeing the children everywhere who are masters as well as children. You are children as well as masters. You will become the masters of the world in the future, but at this time, you are the masters of all of the Father's treasures. You will claim the right to the kingdom of the world in the future, but you now have the right to self-sovereignty. This is why you are a child and a master. You are both, are you not? The intoxication of being a child is constantly there. Bap-Dada has seen that in the majority of you, the intoxication of having the state of childhood remains either merged or emerged. If you sit in remembrance even now, what would it be that you remember? Baba. You think Baba, or you say this word when you are a child. This is why you say Baba. What is it that emerges again and again from the lips of true servers? Baba said this, Baba said that. Throughout the day, check and see how many times you use the word Baba, Baba in service. However, there are two forms of saying this word Baba. One is to say Baba from the heart, and the other form is of those who say this from their heads of knowledge. For those who say Baba from their hearts, there is constantly and easily the visible attainment of happiness and power received from Baba in their hearts. Those who say the word Baba Baba on the basis of knowledge, because they have good heads filled with knowledge, experience happiness at the moment of speaking, and those who hear them also experience happiness at that moment. At that moment it feels good, but the happiness and power don't both remain in the heart all the time. They sometimes stay and not at other times. Why? Because they do not say Baba from their hearts. Bap-Dada saw that everyone has the faith of being a child, but sometimes there is intoxication and sometimes there isn't. The majority have the faith that they belong to Baba, that they are the children. However, you are in fact not only children, but children who are also masters. You are double. To be a master means firstly to be a master with the right to self-sovereignty, and secondly, to make all of Baba's treasures belong to oneself as one's inheritance, that they are one's own. The Father is the bestower, but He has given them to you because you are the masters of the inheritance. Has everyone received the inheritance? Have some received less and others more? Has everyone received the same? Or is it that someone received 10 million and someone else received 100 million? It isn't like that, is it? because the Father's treasures are unlimited, no matter how many children there may be. The Father's treasures are not going to become sparse by being distributed. The treasure store is open and full. So why should the Father give anyone less? Since they are all for the children anyway, why should He give more to some and less to others? So firstly, you are masters with a right to the Father's inheritance, and secondly, masters of self-sovereignty. Have you received self-sovereignty? Are you the masters of both? Is it firm? How long do you move along in the awareness of being a master? You say, self-sovereignty is our birthright. You say this, do you not? It is the birthright of the Maharatis, but only a little of it is yours. Is it the birthright of the Maharatis, but only a little of it is yours? Have you received the right to self-sovereignty fully, or only a little? Stay firm on this. So check that all your organs are working according to your orders. All the sense organs are the workers of you children who have claimed the right to self-sovereignty, are they not? They are not the masters, are they? You are the masters. Is that right? Or is it that the workers become the masters and you become the worker? Bap-Dada saw that the aspect which makes the children forget the stage of being a master most of all, and which controls the king from time to time, is the mind. This is why the Father has given the mantra, Man, man above, not to focus the body on God, Tan, man above, not to focus the wealth on God, Dan, man above, nor even to focus the intellect on God, Buddhi, man above, but man, man above, to focus your mind on God. Your mind exerts its own influence. You become influenced by your mind. Just see, in any little wasteful incident or wasteful atmosphere or wasteful scene, where is the influence felt first? There is an influence on your mind, and your intellect then cooperates with it. Then, if your mind and intellect move in that direction, it creates a sanskar. Even now, check yourself. How was my wasteful sanskar created? For example, if a sanskar has been created so that your mind has bad feelings in a second over a little incident, how was that sanskar created? Then you say, I don't want it. I think about it and yet it happens. This is called being influenced by sanskars. For some, their minds become disheartened in no time. They see a little, hear a little, and their minds are disheartened. Then if you ask them, what would they say? They say, it's nothing, this is my sanskar. It will be okay, it's my sanskar. But how was it created? The sanskar was created on the basis of the mind and intellect. There are various sanskars which are not Brahmin sanskars. Bap-Dada believes that if any of you were asked, who are you? You would say, I am a Brahma Kumar or Kumari. Then who are the children of Brahma? Brahmins. However, at the time you are influenced by wasteful sanskars, are you a Brahma Kumar, Brahmin, or a warrior? Who are you at that time? When you battle with yourself, not this, are you a Brahmin or a warrior? Some children say, I don't know why, but my mind has lost its happiness for the last 2 days. Internally they understand everything, but externally they say, I don't know. However, what are they for those 2 days, Brahmins or warriors? If someone's happiness disappears, is that one a Brahmin? Or is it that he is sometimes a warrior and sometimes a Brahmin? You all said that you are the masters. So what happens at that time? Are you the masters or are you under an influence? Bapdada saw that in particular it is the mind that shakes the stage of the master. You are the ruler with the right to self-sovereignty, and your mind is your minister. Or is your mind the master and you are its minister? You are the king, are you not? Your mind is not the king. It is your minister. It cooperates with you. To be constantly the master of your mind is called having the right to self-sovereignty. Otherwise, you have the right sometimes, and you are dependent at other times. What is the reason for this? Why does transformation not take place? Even though you understand, why are you still influenced by your sanskars? Therefore, first control your mind. You call yourself a king, but the meaning of a king is that he is the one who has ruling power. If there is the title king, but there isn't any ruling power, what would that condition be? Could his rule continue? It could not. So check to what percentage you have ruling power. There is often a mistake that doesn't allow you to have victory over your sanskars. It takes a lot of time. You think, from tomorrow I won't do this. But when tomorrow comes, tomorrow has made the situation bigger than today. You then say, yesterday the situation was minor, but it has become very big today. Because it is such a big situation, a little mistake happened. I will put it right later. You offer seniors and your own heart this false hope, and you continue to move along with this false hope. However, this isn't in fact hope, it is deception. You think at that time that it is fine to give yourself and others this hope for a little while, that it will soon be okay, but you reinforce the habit of deceiving yourself in this way. You don't realize it at that time, but when you are deceived in reality afterwards, you then realize that it was in fact deception. So what is the mistake that you made? Whether you are young or old, what is it that you say when you correct one other? This is my nature. This is my sanskar. For some it is that of a bad feeling. For others it is to step aside. For some to gossip again and again. For others to listen to gossip. There are various forms. You know about all of this even more than the Father, but Bapdada is asking you, that which you call my sanskar, is it truly mine? Whose is it? Ravan's. So why do you call it mine? You never say it is Ravan's sanskar. You say it is my sanskar. This word my makes you slack in your efforts. Why do you hide Ravan's things in yourself? People burn Ravan after killing him, and after burning him, whatever remains is then immersed in water, whereas you have kept it as belonging to you. Therefore, if Ravan's things are there, how can clean sanskars stay together with something that is unclean? Whose rule would it be? Of something unclean, not of that which is clean. The kingdom is unclean because you have carefully kept unclean things with yourself, just as you would carefully keep gold or diamonds. Because there is a battle of the unclean with the clean, you repeatedly become a warrior instead of a Brahmin. What are my sanskars? The Father's sanskars. In particular, the Father's sanskars are of being the world benefactor, the one with good wishes for all, the one who has good wishes and pure feelings for all. These are my original sanskars. The rest are not mine. Whatever uncleanliness you have hidden inside you, it interferes with your becoming completely clean. This is what you wish to become. You have the aim, but in practice it becomes different. The majority of you has the thought, many have had the thought, and have also written that during the Diamond Jubilee they must become a diamond like the Father. Is this your thought, or do you want to think about it more? If you want to think more about it, then think about it, but the number will be towards the end. It has been said, each of you receives to the extent that you do. It is not that each of you receives to the extent that you think. You have very good thoughts. Bapdada is happy reading them or listening to them. However, Ravan's things that you have secretly hidden don't allow you to be the master of your mind. If you keep Ravan's property with you in your heart, my habit, my nature, my sanskar, where would the comforter of hearts sit? Would he sit on top of Ravan's inheritance? Therefore, now erase them. When you say this word, my, remember what my nature is. Even people of the world call the mind a horse and say that it races a great deal, that it races very fast. However, should your mind be racing, you have the strong reins of Srimat. If the reins are tight, there can be no upheaval, but what do? Bapdada sees and smiles at how, when you are driving a horse and cart, the reins are in your hands. As you move along, what happens when your mind and intellect holding the reins get distracted by side scenes? The reins become slack. If the reins become slack, your mind definitely plays mischief. So constantly keep the reins of Srimat in your awareness. In any situation, if your mind plays mischief, tighten the reins of Srimat. Then nothing will happen and you will reach your destination. Srimat applies for every step, not just for celibacy. Srimat has been given for every action. To move, to eat, to drink, to listen, to speak. Srimat applies to everything. Is that not right? For example, if you were gossiping, was that Srimat? If you loosen Srimat, your mind has a chance to play mischief, and it then develops that habit. Who instilled that habit? You did that yourself. So, first be the ruler of your mind, and then check whether the minister is establishing his own incognito kingdom inside. Nowadays, a separate group is created within a government, and they then claim power. They try to usurp the present one. So your mind does the same. It even makes your intellect belong to itself. It makes the mouth and ears belong to it. So, check every day. Ask for news. Hey, Minister Mind, what did you do? Did you create any deception? Internally, it may create an incognito group and make you become the slave instead of the ruler. Don't allow that to happen. Just see, in the beginning, Father Brahma used to hold a court every day in which he would ask for news of the cooperative companions. In the beginning, this was Father Brahma's timetable every day. You have heard about this, haven't you? Father Brahma also made this effort. He paid attention to this, and so he was able to become one with the right to self-sovereignty, and therefore the right to the kingdom of the world. Father Shiva is incorporeal, but Father Brahma made effort like you do throughout his life and attained his reward. Therefore, follow Father Brahma. This mind is very mischievous and very quick. It can take you on a journey through all foreign lands in a second. So, what did you hear? The child and the master. Don't just be happy that you have become a child, that you have received the inheritance. This is because if you don't become a master of the inheritance, what is the purpose of being a child? The significance of being a child is to be a master too. Also be the master of your self-sovereignty. Don't be happy just seeing the inheritance, but claim your right to self-sovereignty. The eyes are just tiny points, but even they deceive you. It is when you are not their master that you are deceived. Bap Dada wishes to see all of you children as rulers with the right to self-sovereignty. Those with this right will not be dependent. Do you understand? What will you become? The child and the master. Leave Ravan's things behind here in the hall. This is a place of tapasya. Tapasya is described as fire. They will finish in the fire. Bap Dada has seen that some children still have love for Ravan. Do you have love? You don't want it with your heart, but it is still there. Now finish it. What will you teachers do? Will you leave it behind here or throw it away in the train? If you have had something for 63 births, there must be a little love for it. What will the Pandavas do? Will you leave it here, or will you leave it down below at Abu Road? Leave it here before you go. Are you ready to leave it? Your yes is very slack. Bap Dada checks different aspects of the children every day. What must be changed has to be checked, then it can change. Acha, this is an extra chance that has been given. Those who have come for the first time, raise your hands. New ones and old ones have received this unexpected lottery. A lottery that comes unexpectedly has great importance. Always apply this lottery in your practical actions and move forward. The more you use all of this for yourself and for the task, the more progress you will make. So continue to increase this and never forget this day of the lottery. Remember it constantly. To all the elevated souls everywhere, to the children who become the masters and claim a double right, to the fortunate souls who claim the right to constant self-sovereignty and run their own kingdoms, to those who move constantly forward in doing service with the method of making Baba's sanskars their own sanskars, to such elevated server souls who move constantly forward, Bap Dada's love, remembrance and namaste. Blessing. May you be a great soul who keeps the blessing of happiness of Brahmin life with you at all times. Happiness is your birthright of Brahmin life, and to be constantly happy is greatness. Those who keep this blessing of happiness with them at all times are great. So never lose your happiness. Problems will come and go, but your happiness should not go, because problems are external situations that have come from others, and they will come and go. Happiness is your own property, and you always keep whatever belongs to you with you at all times. So, even if you have to leave your body, do not let go of your happiness. When you leave your body in happiness, you will receive a new and beautiful body. Slogan: in order to receive congratulations from Bap Dada's heart, do not look at the many things around you, but remain busy in doing tireless service. Om Shanti.